Good evening, everybody. How are you all? So welcome to part 2 of doing the bead embroidery pendant. If you missed part 1, you can catch it up on the replay on YouTube or in the events on Facebook. So first in the house tonight is Linda. Hello, Linda. Hello, Kim. Hello, Jackie. Hope you're all well. I know the bead embroidery element is a little new to some of you. I know certainly it isn't to Linda and Kim. Not sure whether you've done any before, Jackie. Do let us know in the comments if you have. Now, I have, because it takes a little while to do the next stage, which is brick stitch, I'm going to start demonstrating on another piece and then we'll shimmy on over to the other one. Now, hello Gemma, how are you? Gemma, have you done bead embroidery before? I have a feeling you have. Right, let's go on the overhead and get stuck in, shall we? Right, now this is the finished piece. And this was the piece that we did last week. So I've almost finished the edging on it with 1.5 by 2mm crystals. And I've left a little bit there so that I can show you how it's finished off. And then we'll look at doing the little dangly bits as well. I think we need to get in a wee bit closer. Now there was about 30 seconds to go. And I thought, oh, I need some double-sided sticky tape. So quick race and I managed to get it. So hello, Suzanne. Thank you for joining. And Gemma says, yes, she's done a little bit of bead embroidery. And Jackie, no, not yet. Well, hopefully it'll inspire you to do a little something on that. Now, this is the piece. I found a piece out of my box that I've done before. Now, what you want to do with the brick stitch is normally you'd cut it as close as possible so that you can't see it, but you do want a little bit of bead embroidery foundation on the side. Now, if you haven't watched the first one, then you stitch it onto the beading foundation. I've glued on the cabochon, and what you can always do as well is you can always use the bit you've cut out as the template for your backing. So we'll cut a little bit of backing out. I've got a pencil and it's not going to be perfect, but we can trim it off afterwards. And I'd recommend in your stash you have a little bit of double-sided sticky tape as well, because it makes it a lot easier. So this part that we're going to do is the backing and the edging. Now with the backing, I've started doing in many cases now is actually stitching the back on when I'm doing brick stitch. But you can obviously glue it if you wish with E6000. So this is like a metallic faux suede that I've got. And what I'm going to do is grab a little bit of double-sided sticky tape. So I've got to try and find the end. Hello, Carol. And our other Carol, sorry a bit late, no problem at all. Just lovely to have you join. I'll just pop that along there. So it's just the normal sort of stuff that you use in card making. Always struggle a little bit to get the tape off. Right, I'm just going to go off camera a second. Find it much better to do when I'm not in the camera. Right, double-sided sticky tape. It just holds it in place while you're doing the brick stitch. And then once you've pasted the double-sided sticky tape on, the other thing to mention as well, just backtracking, is I've kept the needle on there, but I've brought it to the front just so that you don't cut into your thread. Now, what I thought we'd work with here is the 1.5 silver crystals. I'm really not sure how they're going to go alongside this one, these colours, but it's really more the principle that we're looking at more than anything. And what we'll do next is we go from to the back and then back to the front again, but not in the same slot, because obviously you don't want to undo the stitch you've just done. Now, at the start of brick stitch, let's show you what brick stitch looks like. Is this bit here. Really adds a nice edge in, and it's also stitched on that backing at the same time. So you pop those 2 beads on. Always start with the 2 beads and then you work in singles. So you pop your needle by the side of that next bead. You can either come from the back and go through the foundation, or I prefer to just go under and up. Let's just zoom in more because you're not that close. There we go. I think I've got a bit of static going on that double-sided sticky tape. And then we work all our way round, add in singles. So I normally eyeball it about 1 millimetre from the edge. If you've got 1 millimetre, pull it through, and then from the back, go under and up. So we just keep repeating that. It's not an essential thing with bead embroidery. You can just glue it and leave it at that, but I think it just adds another nice little dimension. Now, the other thing to mention as well is if you don't like seeing white space on there, is it's a good investment to actually get a pack of different coloured Sharpie pens, because you can colour that in, or you can have a look at one of my YouTube tutorials on actually colouring your foundation colour before you start your project. Hello Maxine, thank you for joining. No problem. Hello Carrie, no problem Jan. Hello, lovely to have you all join. We were just saying earlier, how many of you have tried bead embroidery? Is this new for the first time for some of you to see it as well? Now I'm going to be introducing some bead embroidery to Jewellery Maker when I'm on there on Tuesday, which I'm really excited about. And also working a little bit of cup chain in there as well. Now this is nice, this piece, because it's quite small. And it's a good example for me to show you on doing the brick stitch. So this is twofold, like I say, it's twofold because it's actually edging the piece, making it look nice and pretty, and it's also stitching on the back. So Jan says she hasn't tried it yet, but as soon as her order arrives, she will. Brilliant. Well, all your orders, all the paid for orders are all packed, ready to be collected from me tomorrow morning. Because I do it all online now. It's actually cheaper to do it online than it is to go in the post office and wait in the queue. And you order a collection. Sounds like I have a dog snuffling around. Oh, does it? You sure that's not just me, Kim? every breathing. That sounds really terrible, doesn't it? I've got a bit of a blocked nose. Right. Now, you get the gist of that. All right. So what we'll do next is we'll switch to the other one and I'll show you how you finish off. So you'd go all the way around, which we're going to do on this piece. Hoping I've got enough thread left. And under and up. So there's different types of backing that you can get. I rather like the ultra suede because it just feels so soft. Some of the bare accessory places, you know, where you buy your bare fabrics for the paws and things, you can get them from those sorts of shops. I haven't actually found a wholesaler, hence why I don't stock ultra suede. It's not cheap for me to buy, so there's no point, you know, because I can't do it any cheaper than anywhere else. I can't buy it any cheaper than you can. But I do have some of the faux suede, which is equally as nice. Not soft, you know, not soft and fluffy like this one, but still really nice. Hello, Trisha. Thank you for joining. But I love these sparkles. So, so nice. You've got to try and make it fit towards the end as well. Let's just pick up a few more. Now these crescent moons, this one that I've got is obsidian and the sample one is tiger's eye. Do let me know if you are fancying different gemstones in them, because I will be doing a little order very soon and I can order more. Now I'm just going to fit one more crystal in there. Jan says she loves the post office pickup. I live in a village and the queues are always long. Yeah, do you know what? I only plucked up the confidence to actually do it online. Isn't that silly? After a little while. And then I'm like, well, it's cheaper. You get a free collection. I can even print it on my labels now, which is ideal. Quicker all round. Now, just to finish off and join, we're going to go down the next one. That's the first one that we did. I find it sits better if you go under and up the next one in the row, like that, and pull, and then just go back under and up. There we go. So that is our brick stitch finish. How beautiful is that? I mean, gosh, that is such a glitzy piece, isn't it? Now, it's up to you whether or not you have your moon that way. I kind of naturally want it that way. And what I'm going to do is actually push my needle under, and I want it down here. So I'm going to push my needle through these crystals. So Carrie says she can finish off her green moon tonight. Brilliant. Right. Now you don't have to have as many tassels as this. What I should have done is I should have done that bit while I was further up, but still we're down the bottom now. So you kind of want to bring it out in the center and then work out. That's work out to the outside. And that sometimes is just a little bit of trial and error. I'm going to be really naughty and actually marry it up with the other one. Saves me a bit of time that way. And then I am going to go through one of those crystals. Let's just make sure. Right, I've gone too far over now. Just move back over one. Now it's entirely up to you what combination you do. I am very much improvising here, but comparing it to what I've got on the other one. I'm just laying out my beads. I've got some mahogany obsidian here as well. Gonna need some more of these. And I've also got some of these. So I'm going to add 5 crystals, 5 little ones. And then excuse me, just going to add these. So any combination you like, you don't want it to be too chunky or clunky. And 1, 2, 3. So I'm just randomly, this is going to be very sparkly. There's a lot of movement going on in my house at the moment. I'm not sure whether or not you can hear it. And then I am going to pick up one of the 8mm mahogany obsidian, add a crystal on the bottom, and then miss the crystal out and go all the way back up those beads you've just added. Which, given that they're quite small, is a little bit easier said than done. But is everybody following so far? Anybody got any questions? Obviously, if you've never done bead embroidery before, you might want to start off with a smaller piece, or you might just want to do just the moon element first. And then we go back up through that crystal and then down the next one. There we go. Don't want to stitch up my fingers. Oh, Kim said I can. Maybe that's what all the snuffling was before. Yes, they're very loud in the house tonight. Very loud. Right, so the next one I'm just going to make a little bit shorter at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Jan says it's so sparkly. I've got some flat back moss agate cabs to play with. Brilliant. The stem gone. They're going out now. Bye bye. See you later. See ya. It's gone. Actually, it's really nice having a house full. It's when you do get used to them not being here, but it's actually not very nice when they're not. Well, for a short time anyway. And then they all come back at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this time I'm going to do 1, I think that will do. Let me bring that up. So I'm going to do 1 less. Kim is just finishing off her carved labradorite. Oh, those carved labradorites were so beautiful. I really need to get some more carved ones. I have got loads of cabochons to put up online. Just haven't had time. Nearly finished all of my prep for jewellery maker next week. So what are you doing with your carved labradorite, Kim? What sort of style bead embroidery? What sort of colours? What you need to be careful of with this as well is that because the beads are so small that you don't actually miss going through one of them, and then further down the line you have a look and you discover that you've actually got some thread showing at the back of one of the beads. There we go. And then down the next one. No, that is not down the bead. I could probably just about get another dangle out of that. I used khaki seeds and lemon seeds and the lemon micro crystals. Nice. Very nice. Look forward to seeing it, Kim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just remember, just try and reduce the dangles by 1 each time. How are we doing for time? We're doing okay for time. Some more beads. Yes, absolutely. Love to see it. Now, if you struggle with visibility, don't be put off, because you don't necessarily have to use short, small seed beads. I mean, I haven't used any seed beads in this project at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can obviously go up to size 8 seed beads as well if you want to. And then go back up. Obviously you make as many or little dangles as you like. We're okay for time, so I'm just going to keep going for now. And if you missed it, you missed yesterday's bead along, you can watch it on YouTube replay, or you can watch it on the event from the events section on Facebook or from the featured part. And what did we do yesterday? Oh my goodness, what is the matter with me? I can't even remember what we did yesterday. I'm having a complete mental block. Oh yeah, memory wire, that's it. We did memory wire. Sometimes handy to have some pliers just to pull it through, just in case. Isn't that terrible that I can't even remember that? Right, I'm just going to put a very tiny stitch to the back, come back forward, and just tie a knot in between beads. Because I need to add in some new thread. No, I don't. Oh no, that's actually okay. Excuse me talking to myself. I'm just thinking I don't want to block the holes and stop myself from actually being able to bring any more thread, but that's okay. Ignore that comment. Right. Oh, it would help if I actually had that threaded, but I can cut that now anyway. Right. Here's where we're at so far. How many dangles would you put on yours? Is the question. On this one, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. To be honest, I think even 6 would be fine. Actually, no, you wouldn't want 6, you'd want 5, wouldn't you? You have to have the oddsies. Right, I'm just making a loop. Yeah, absolutely an odd number. Jan is loving the flashes of colour coming under the light. They're really pretty, aren't they? And in the obsidian beads, you probably can't see it online, but there's actually different colours under the light as well. They are too small for me to work with, they're too small for me to work with, Kim, but they look amazing. Right, just going to cut the tail off and actually stitch this in there with a knot. And then we're going to come back, very tiny stitch back. This is where you discover you get in a knot. Oh. Right, okay. Let's start again, shall we? I pulled the knot through. Right. Start again. Just threading the needle. But what projects are you all working on at the moment? Would love to know. let's try again, shall we? And always take your time with it. Come back up, but just do a very small stitch. Oops. I think I've gone under the crystals there. And then we'll go down the next one. It's where you discover your eyesight's not quite what it used to be. You can probably see better than I can. Right, sorry, just going off screen. Right, why is the hole blocked? No, it's not. There we go. It's nice and steady. Right. Right, I'm going through the bead, Jan. Through the dangly beads in the brick stitch that you've just done. But do experiment with different beads in bead embroidery, because you can get all sorts of lovely finishes. And also Precosa have got really lovely different shapes of beads as well that we've worked with before. 1, 2, 3. And then this time it'll just be the crystals. 1, 2. Sorry, I know you can't see me adding them on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so what we want to do is take some of those off because it's going round the curve. You want less beads to go on the graduation there. So let's just take another one off. I think that'll be okay. There we go. And now I'm going to work the other side. So you go back up that crystal. You see that? And if possible, I'm going to utilise these beads at the side here to just reposition my needle to just a bit further down here. That's if I haven't used up too much space previously. I think that's okay. Right, so we just repeat that the other side. Kim said, sorry, she just disappeared speaking to her son about reheating chicken. Got to be careful, haven't you? Kim loves using them. What, the little mini crystals? They're beautiful, aren't they? Right, so we're just going to reverse that. I'm going to turn it up that way because you can see a little bit better, can't you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mini ones to start off with. I'll make sure I put these silver ones up as well. These silver beads. Probably be tomorrow now. Oh, got too many crystals there. Sometimes you can go back up through the thread path. Sometimes it doesn't work and you end up splitting your thread. It worked this time, so that's a bonus. So then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not a black person, but I think I'd actually quite like wearing this because it's just so beautiful and sparkly. There we go. Just gives you a different angle, doesn't it, when I'm holding it like this? So I'm missing out that end bead and bringing it all the way back up. Make sure you pull that tight. This would be quite nice as well on a piece of velvet cord, like a choker. Wouldn't that be lovely? Nice sort of thick. Actually, it doesn't necessarily have to be a thick one, does it? But a nice bit of velvet. Pop some ribbon ends on your velvet to make your own choker necklace. There we go. Oh. And then back down the next one. Hello, Jackie. Jackie's saying she's working on bracelets, earrings and sun catchers for a craft fair she's doing in April. So you're pretty busy. Would be lovely as a choker. Yes, I think so. I really do think it would be lovely as a choker. If you're using mini crystals, it's a good idea to order 2 strands. Yes, definitely. It's amazing how quickly they go. And I feel you're talking from experience there, Carrie. As a choker, Kim says I'd have a sparkly double chin. Me too. Me too. And I don't really like things that are that tight round my neck. However, I think it would look very nice on the right person. I'm sure it would look lovely on you, Kim. Not convinced it would look so nice on me, but you know. Right, let's get some more of these crystals. Right. Whoops. So just follow what you're doing with the others. So we've got number 1, well, say 1 and 2. 1 and 2 if you count those. And then we're doing this one. So I think it's good that we did this into 2 parts because it's a little bit more relaxing. You get to see a little bit more rather than it being rushed. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just checking I hadn't missed any of the holes on the beads. One of the silver. Well, they're all silver, aren't they? That's it, just checking they're all in line. Oh, I'm playing tiddlywinks. How many of you actually use YouTube now to go back and watch some of the videos? Are you finding it useful now that it's streamed on YouTube to actually have a quick and easy way to get access to it? Oops. But if you could all subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be amazing. And to be honest, if you could watch some of them on YouTube, that'd be really handy, because I'm trying to get to the stage where I get paid for my YouTube tutorials. But you wouldn't believe, it's before you can start earning money, it's hours and hours and hours that people have to watch. And by the time I probably get there, that have probably changed the way you do it, which is what happened to me last time. I changed the goalposts. Right, last one. One, two, three. Oh, I've got 2 crystals on there. So Carrie says she's just finished doing the peacock kit that I designed with the dangles. It took me forever. It takes a while, doesn't it? Jan uses YouTube. It's really easy to find. Brilliant. And Kim watched YouTube Bead Along on Wednesday. That's really, really good to hear. And I must admit, I'm quite enjoying being able to live stream across the two. And even better, the fact that it saves me a job as well, because it means I don't have to edit my videos before they go. Not that I had to edit them before, but they're just on there now. And you can just skip along, can't you? Right. Let's get that sat properly. There we go. And then what we're going to do next is bring our needle up to the top, where we're actually going to pop a jump ring on there. But we need to make the actual attachment for the jump ring first. So let's take a nosedive down, and what I'm trying to do is to actually bring my needle under the other row of crystals. There we go, make sure that sits properly, and use these crystals to reposition the needle at the top. Right, I'm just going to grab a set of pliers just to pull that through. Bear with. Chain as well. Just hope nothing cracks along the way. Ah, oh, there we go. I was gritting my teeth then. So, oh, I have actually cracked one of the crystals. So I'm going to just try and stitch one in. Hopefully it works. Oh, that's okay. Might just need to go back and do a half hitch stitch on that. Not a half hitch, sorry, a couch stitch. I always call it a half hitch, I'm not quite sure why. Right, just going to grab the other one and see whereabouts I put the bail. Sometimes it takes a little bit of working out just to get it centrally. Bit more. You kind of want it opposite the center dangle. So there's your center dangle. So you want it opposite there. And what we're going to do is bring that under. Gosh, my stomach's off now. Kim said she cracked a few crystals redoing my labradorite and had to redo a few bits. You know, you can do a few little bits and pieces, can't you, Kim, just to fill in those gaps. But that's the other thing, is to switch down to a size 12 needle. I know you generally use a 12 needle anyway, Kim. I'm going to go down the next one and then under, just to reinforce that. You can also use a soldered ring if you want to. If you're using a soldered ring, which is a ring without a slit in it, you would need to actually stitch around that, because obviously you won't be able to open the jump ring afterwards. Okay, and then we're just going to tie off. Push your needle through a couple of the beads. Push your needle in between beads, and before you cut, just tie a knot. Do the same a bit further down. Push your needle through. I thought you would be using a 12 needle, Kim. I know you like to use those. But don't forget, any of the cabochons that we've got in the group doesn't have to be the moon. You could have it any shape. just keeps going on to the next bead. I don't want to do that. Don't want my thread wrapping around something else. Right, I think we're nearly done. Now, I did grab a jump ring. I don't know what I've done with it now. Oh, there it is. Just go and get my pliers and we'll just finish that off and then we'll have a little reveal. So we've done quite well for time. So I'm just going to open up that jump ring. You want it big enough so that you can actually get your chain through it. And close that up. Let's show you the back. So you can't even see any of the stitches on there, can you? Or, you know, you'd need to have a really good look. So let's just zone out a little bit. There you go. Which one's your favourite? Do you prefer the tiger's eye or the obsidian? And it's one of the stainless steel necklaces. There we go. And let's come off the overhead. Carrie says, love it. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. So let's just show you. That's really pretty, isn't it? Do you know what I'm thinking as well? Wouldn't that be a really nice mobile as well? You could even do two, a back to back. I wouldn't have two groups of tassels though, but if you imagine, that's not going to work with that because they're both the same shape. But you could always have another one that side, and then if it spins round, you've got double whammy. So there you go, that's that one. Very nice and sparkly, obsidian on the bottom. Carrie has 3 moons to do now. So pleased you like it. Do you know what this really reminds me of as well? I don't know how many of you used to watch Kirk's Folly. I think she's American and it's very stars and moons and that sort of thing. And they used to do a lot of Swarovski crystals. I know these aren't Swarovski, but to be honest, well, you can't even buy Swarovski crystals now anyway, can you? But I think that's really nice. Be a nice lampshade as well, wouldn't it? If you had a couple of those sort of at different heights. Getting a bit carried away now, but you know, get your imagination flowing. I love the idea of a mobile. Yeah, me too. This is lovely, Rachel. Thank you for the live. You're very welcome. Oh, I love Kirk's Folly as well. It's beautiful. It's one of those things that I lost as well. My mum bought me a bracelet. It's going back. It was for my 30th. I absolutely loved it. The bracelet got crystal encrusted star and it had got moonstone opalite Swarovski. Yeah. It's always your favourite things that disappear, isn't it? So anyway, do not forget that you can share your makes in our Beaders group. I really need to update as to who's got so many entries this month, because every time you post, you get entered into a draw at the end of the month to win a £5 voucher. I'll just see whether or not I've actually got the link for you here. Don't think I have. If you're watching from YouTube, that's our Facebook group where you can purchase materials as well as in the group website, and this is where you can buy your materials from beadsbythechill.co.uk or from the group, as I said. And jewellery projects is where I have links to most of these projects. Oh, there's my website. There you go. Right, 4 minutes early. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, and see you very soon. Take care. Bye for now.